And a good morning and happy weekend to you. Today, straight into one of my long-term investments. I haven't spoken about it for a while. That's MINBOS Resources. Primary focus on getting its phosphate fertilizer plant into production. It's been a long run. I've been with this company for quite some time, a few years, and through the jubilation, through the troughs, capitulation, but now it looks like we are climbing up the Lassonde curve with the recent announcement on the financing. So um, just looking at the project itself, it's defined as, it's a high value, relatively low capex project. Um, and we're expecting production for it to complete construction and get into production next year. Let's see how that goes. There can always be some delays, but as long as we remain relatively on track. You can see the stock price now in the last month or so. It really likes the recent news. There's been news on commitment from the Sovereign Wealth Fund and money put into the bank. There's been news on the Banco Angola providing that, agreeing on the terms to provide that debt facility, and we're still waiting for the offtakes because that then unlocks the remaining IDA funding. That's also IDC, sorry, funding that's also been agreed. So offtake is the final thing, but we've got funds in the bank to move into construction. Just looking at the valuation metrics from my perspective, if we look at the project with base case NPV was, I think, just over US dollars 300 million. And if we look at the market capitalization now, we're at around 45 US dollar million. Now, for an entity that is moving into construction, that has pretty much tied up the different elements of its project financing, the final piece to unlock the remainder of the funds are the offtake agreements. I think we're in a really, really good position. The upside potentially is, with respect to the offtake agreements, if they're higher than was previously expected for phase one, and hence we move into a slightly expanded capacity of production immediately, i.e. phase one and phase two, that then potentially takes us to an even higher NPV. So there is upside. We are not even touching the green ammonia project. That's not even there. So I'm just focusing on the phosphate project itself. I think the upside is fantastic. I think the company itself, perhaps I made a bit of an error here in the sense that from an ethical, emotional perspective, I think what the company is trying to do in Angola and in that part of Africa is fantastic. Sustainable development, food security, etc. But just looking at the financial metrics, please go to the latest presentation, have a look for yourself. I mean, relative to the expected EBIT, the capex requirements now, hopefully, I wouldn't discount it completely, but let's hope there's not any additional dilution requirements. But I think as the company moves into reporting on construction and we get into first production, then it really is for real. So we are climbing up the Lassonde curve. I believe there's still a chance to get in here. The Sovereign Wealth Fund came in at 8 cents. As you can see, that the stock was previously floating close to the 20 cents mark, but let's look at market capitalization to NPV. Still a lot of upside. Do your own research, not financial advice, but what I can say to you, the last few days have really pumped up my portfolio and long-term wealth basis. It's taken more time than I expected, but it's now moving in the direction that I expected. And take a look yourselves. MINBOS Resources. This is just personal investing. I've got no relation to the company. I just like it. I like the investment. I like what the company's doing, and I like the direction it's going. Um, Share views. Enjoy your weekend, and till next week. Cheers.